Okay, if you could tell me your first and last name, spell it for me, and your title.
Perfect. Maybe Jennifer first.
My name is Jennifer Bhagwandin. First name Jennifer, last name Bhagwandin.
Okay.
And I'm a director, actor, and writer of the movie Stigma. My name is Janusz Madej, and that's spelled Janusz Madej. Madej.
Okay, wonderful. Tell us a little bit about your film and, just the concept behind it. The poster itself is very compelling. The title is Stigma. What is it about?
Well, Stigma is a story of a psychic named Gabriel. He has his own psychic center, and he's not very religious man. He's very fixed on materialism and getting money from his clients. Well, he's a fraud. He doesn't have a gift. And the way his psychic center formatted is that underneath of his table, he has a little pedal that he presses. And that convinces there are gags that are happening during the readings, and he convinces people that he can speak with spirits, which gains him a lot of popularity. People come to him for advice. Now, he has nightmares that are are ongoing, so to speak. And what happens is during those nightmares, he sees Christ-like figure. And he's not religious at all, he's not Catholic. And he wakes up and he receives slowly stigmata, the Christ sign, so to speak. And as an unbeliever, he treats this as a curse. He doesn't want this to happen from him. The further the movie goes, the more we kind of see that it affects him in a deeper sense. And there is a scene where there is a lady called Olympia who comes in. She's slightly older. She just finds out from her doctor that she will never be pregnant, and she wants to know if this is true. Well, because he's vulnerable and because he's getting this stigmata, he decides to give her the reading. However, all the gags are not working. And for the first time, he breathes in and out and immerses himself in a meditation. And he has a vision. And in that vision, he sees her in weird circumstance, dead, basically. Well, he doesn't bring this bad news to her, which in the end of the movie basically has a consequence, because he has to, by the end of the movie, make some sacrifice, make some decision. And I will not reveal what is happening in the end, because I want you to, of course, come and see the movie. However, there is a twist in the end that by the end of the movie, what I want you to do as the audience, I want you to go outside and go for a coffee, go for a cake, and talk about what was, if Gabriel found his calling, if what happened to him is stigma, or is it really something, a gift? And this is kind of thing which we've been working on this project.
Oh, wow. How do you feel about traveling here? You're from Amsterdam.
That's right.
You've traveled a far distance to come here to Temecula. Is this your first time here?
Well, in Temecula, indeed. I study at LA Film School, so I've lived in California, I've lived in Los Angeles, and for about a year and a half of my study. And we both kind of enjoyed California, enjoyed Los Angeles. I mean, who doesn't, of course, the weather and the place itself. So this is the first time in Temecula, and we are very excited to be here. We are very happy to be here. I was really impressed with the gala, the opening gala, and all the festivities that are taking place here. So it's a great place, great people, beautiful place, and we are just lucky and happy to be here.
Wonderful. Can we expect to see more of your films and your projects
yes, indeed.
in the future?
I have an upcoming project called 11. It's a feature film. The Stigma is 29-minute film. It's 29/11. Well, number 11 is very important to me. I'm into numerology, and if you add 2 and 9, you get 11. So it gets 11/11. The reason for that is that I was born on the 11th of May, and my mother passed away on the 11th of October. And that is a little bit of story where, you see, 1 month before I finished my study at LA Film School, I get a phone call from one of my brothers saying, Janusz, you need to come back home. Mother got sick. And this is what happened. I basically stopped my study 1 month before I recorded Stigma. I went back to Poland and I spent the last month of her life with her. She passed away holding my hand. And I took 2 months off to recuperate from the trauma of what's happened. And, you know, I had a choice. Okay, I can give up. I can just give up, stay wherever I am, not follow up with my dream. However, this film, by the end of the film, you see her name. I dedicate this film to her. I took 2 months off from my study. I came back. I did STIGMA, which was one of the most emotionally charged, the greatest experience of my life. And STIGMA might not have been as emotional if my mother wouldn't passed away. But because I was charged with all the experience, and I'm also acting the character of Gabriel, someone who I wrote, directed, and produced, and acted in the movie. It was a lot of pressure on me. However, my experience with my mother, I felt her presence with me. So this movie, in some way, it is my way of cherishing her name. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's not about me seeing myself on a big screen, my big face, oh, vanity, oh God. It's not that. It is me cherishing my mother's name. At the end of the day, I was here because of her. A lot of things that I went through, and she was always a huge supporter of me when I left Poland, etc., etc. So, to some extent, this film is a shrine to my mother, and I like to share that with everybody around me, and join the celebration of my mother's life. So
beautiful. Jennifer, you said that you were the associate producer for the film?
Yes, co-producer, and I also did the costume design.
Oh, wonderful. How was that experience for you?
It was amazing. It was to take on 2 jobs in one movie was a lot of work, a lot of running around, a lot of pressure, a lot of responsibility, but I enjoyed it. It was, like Janusz explained, it was difficult, but it really showed us what we are made of.
that's true.
If you put on a lot of hats, that's when you learn how much you are able to do. And I knew I could handle a lot, but this really was an amazing experience for me. And I also wanted to develop myself more into styling and costume design, so it was a great opportunity for me to also work on the costumes. And we have so many different characters in the movie. There's a priest, there's a psychic, there are different ladies, they are dressed differently, different characters. So I had to really look into the symbology of everything.
The colors and what
Yes.
the colors mean, and a lot of people don't really pay attention, but you're subconsciously influenced by colors. And this is what we were working on, the STIGMA, and this is where pressure on Jennifer came to come up with the colors of the outfits that will stimulate people's subconscious mind. So you watching it, you feel that you are stimulated in some way, but you don't know exactly why. And this is exactly the Polish film school, like Krzysztof Kieślowski, Roman Polanski, Andrzej Wajda. These are the Polish masters who developed this technique to go around censorship. Because at the time there was a communist time in Poland, and you had to develop a language that would affect your subconscious mind. So a censor is watching the film and he doesn't understand, but I'm affected by it from one way or another, but I don't know why. And these are the things that I really pay attention to. And this is where Jennifer stepped up as a costume designer, as a producer, and had to also kind of get on board. Because if you're on board of the train called Janusz Madej, you need to, represent.
You need to work your butt off.
But then you're sitting in Temecula Film Festival and you're talking to wonderful people about the movie. So this was the point, and now we are happy to be here. So.
Yes.